Hello, my fellow animal lovers. How are you today? Before I ferry you to dreamland, if you love the content and you love animals, I encourage you to show your support by subscribing. By the way, tell us where you are in the world in the comment section. What time do you like watching our channel? I look forward to reading all your comments. Enjoy. Chapter 1. The Descent Begins. The journey begins not in the forbidding, crushing depths, but at the tranquil, shimmering surface of a vast, calm ocean, bathed in the soft, ambient glow of a late afternoon sun. Imagine for a moment the expansive, almost liquid horizon stretching endlessly, a painter's palette of shifting blues and greens, reflecting the immensity of the sky above, a scene of pristine, unblemished serenity. Here, at the very edge of the sea, the initial moments are spent describing the gentle, almost imperceptible rocking of waves upon a shore, not the tumultuous crash of powerful breakers, but the delicate, whispering caress of a quiet tide. It is a soft, consistent rhythm that sets the stage for the rest of the experience, a subtle, rhythmic pulse that mirrors the calming beat of one's own heart, a lullaby whispered by the very edge of the sea as it gently kisses the sand. These are the smallest, most peaceful ripples, perhaps capillary waves or spilling breakers, born from gentle breezes and the subtle dance between wind and water, their energy gracefully expended as they steadily, almost imperceptibly, creep towards the shore. This continuous, metronomic wave music offers a peaceful pulse, a steady, hypnotic beat of the ocean that is both deeply comforting and utterly mesmerizing, drawing the listener's attention into the present moment. The air above the water is imbued with a faint, invigorating scent of salt, a clean, refreshing aroma that subtly signals a deliberate and conscious separation from the dry, sometimes dusty, or synthetic terrestrial world. The sunlight, though bright, feels diffuse and soft, filtered by the humid air, creating a dreamy, ethereal glow upon the water's surface, a final, lingering embrace of the sun's warmth before the journey deeper. The listener is invited to imagine a slow, utterly weightless descent, a feeling akin to being cradled by an unseen, benevolent force, where the very act of sinking becomes an effortless, natural embrace. As you begin to slip gracefully beneath the surface, the cool water starts to press in, not with force or crushing intensity, but with a gentle, reassuring pressure, as if the ocean itself is lovingly holding and guiding you downward. This sensation of being gently held, of a profound reduction in muscle tension and stress on the joints, contributes to a deep, primal sense of physical relaxation, a natural buoyancy that supports you completely, allowing every muscle to soften and release. It's a deliberate, tranquil separation from the day's concerns, from the relentless demands and anxieties, and from the bright sunlit world above, a peaceful and conscious letting go of the need for control as the water takes over, allowing you to simply be without effort or expectation. The initial coolness of the water, a subtle, invigorating embrace around your skin, becomes a gentle reminder of this profound transition, a feeling that deepens ever so slightly as you descend, offering a sense of refreshing clarity and profound calm, a delicate, soothing trickle that washes away tension rather than startling the senses. As the descent continues, a fascinating transformation begins to unfold around you. The familiar, vibrant colors of the surface world, The dazzling spectrum that dominates our waking experience begin to soften, then blur, and finally fade away, one by one, into the deepening blue. This is due to the remarkable physics of light attenuation in water, a natural phenomenon where different wavelengths of light are absorbed at varying rates as they penetrate the water column. The longer wavelengths, such as the passionate reds and fiery oranges, are absorbed first, vanishing almost immediately within the upper 10 to 40 meters of the ocean, leaving their warmth behind. The vibrant reds that paint spectacular sunsets vanish almost instantly, followed by the cheerful oranges and bright yellows, leaving only the cooler, more somber hues to penetrate further into the liquid world. This gradual transition from a world dominated by brilliant visual stimuli to a realm of deepening shadow is not presented as a loss, as if something precious is being taken away, but rather as a gentle and beautiful transformation, an invitation to a different kind of perception, a more inward and reflective awareness. The narrative eases the listener into a new reality, where the visual dominance and often overwhelming stimulation of the waking world are gracefully replaced by the more subtle, receptive senses of feeling and sound, akin to unwinding a glitter brain that swirls with chaotic, fragmented thoughts and anxieties. The vibrant, clear, almost crystalline blues of the upper layers gracefully give way to a deeper, more profound indigo than to rich sapphire, as only the shortest, highest energy wavelengths of blue light are able to penetrate further down. Even in the clearest tropical waters, only about 1% of visible light, primarily in the blue spectrum, manages to penetrate beyond 100 meters. This deepening blue becomes an enveloping cloak, a soft visual quietude that gently prepares the mind for an even deeper, more profound sense of calm, a silent descent into the heart of tranquility. The journey then gently guides you into the mesopelagic zone, a vast and mysterious realm sometimes affectionately called the twilight zone, or more scientifically, the midwater zone. This expansive layer of the ocean lies approximately between 200 to 1,000 meters, 660 to 3,280 feet below the surface, a colossal space that represents a significant portion of the Earth's habitable volume. Here, true sunlight is merely a distant memory, a faint, almost forgotten echo, reduced to less than 1% of its surface intensity. It is a world of perpetual dusk, a constant twilight where the last feeble vestiges of the sun's light are so filtered and softened that objects appear as ghostly silhouettes against a dim ambient glow. In this vast, cold, and dimly lit layer, where temperature decreases rapidly with increasing depth, the organisms that inhabit this world do not rely on strong visual cues as their counterparts do at the surface. Instead, they have developed a remarkable array of enhanced senses and extraordinary physiological adaptations to navigate their environment, showcasing the incredible ingenuity of life in extreme conditions. Many mesopelagic animals, such as certain species of fish and squid, possess unusually large eyes, often tubular and directed upwards, specifically designed to gather the scant ambient light filtering down from above. Chapter 2: The Soft Heart of the Abyss. The descent continues, a silent and serene journey ever deeper, further away from the last whispers of the sun, until the narrative reaches the profound, mysterious realm of the bathypelagic zone, often referred to with a hushed reverence as the midnight zone. This immense and largely unexplored layer of the ocean stretches from approximately 1,000 meters, 3,300 feet, down to an astonishing 4,000 meters, 13,100 feet below the surface. It is a truly colossal expanse, a vast dark cathedral that accounts for an incredible 70% of all seawater and stands as the single largest habitat on the entire planet. Here, sunlight has been completely left behind. Not even the faintest glimmer from the sunlit world above can penetrate these crushing, lightless depths. The world here is one of profound, pitch black darkness, a constant, enveloping night where the only illumination comes from the living, ephemeral light of the creatures themselves, tiny beacons in an otherwise boundless void. This is not an empty or frightening blackness, not a void to be feared or an absence to be dreaded, but rather a rich, velvety absence of light, a profound quietude that invites a different, more intuitive kind of perception. The concept of darkness here is not a symbol of evil or a sterile void, but rather a state of minimal visibility that holds its own distinct characteristics, its own subtle beauty, and its own unique sense of presence. Philosophically, darkness can be understood not merely as the absence of light, but as a positive contribution to human life, a nurturing space where other senses awaken, a canvas upon which the stars are painted in the night sky, or even a mysterious, impenetrable ground and source of light for introspection and creativity. In this ancient, quiet space, the conventional concepts of up and down, day and night, time and space dissolve into a single, seamless reality, a timeless continuum where the external markers of time and orientation become utterly irrelevant. The environment is characterized by extreme and remarkably constant conditions. Temperatures hover steadily around a chilling 4 degrees Celsius, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, a perpetual winter, and the hydrostatic pressure is immense, ranging from 100 to 400 atmospheres, or over 5,850 pounds per square inch at 4,000 meters, enough to crush almost anything built for the surface. Yet, despite these formidable, seemingly inhospitable conditions, life thrives in astonishing forms, demonstrating incredible adaptations to survive, find food, and reproduce in this perpetually dark, cold, and high pressure realm. Deep sea organisms often have gelatinous or soft tissues that help them withstand the immense pressure without being crushed, and many rely heavily on bioluminescence for every aspect of their lives, rather than vision, which is useless in this profound blackness. Within this immense tranquil darkness, a single central image begins to emerge, not as a sudden jarring apparition, but as a soft, gentle manifestation from the deep, a quiet unfolding. It is the ethereal, delicate form of a jellyfish, its arrival slow and deliberate, a silent, graceful dancer in the infinite dark. Its presence is not a jarring event that disturbs the profound stillness, but a soft, almost dreamlike manifestation, as if it has always been there, simply waiting to reveal itself. The physical description centers on its gentle, rhythmic pulsing, the translucent, often bell-shaped body moving with a slow, steady cadence, much like a heart, or perhaps the calm, reassuring pulse of the ocean itself, a silent, hypnotic beat. For an animal missing both a true heart and a complex brain, The jellyfish's movement is beautifully mystifying and surprisingly efficient. It propels itself by rhythmically contracting and relaxing its bell, pushing water aside to create a high pressure vortex that moves it forward, followed by a low pressure zone into which water rushes, providing a secondary energy free boost. This passive energy recapture allows the jellyfish to move with remarkable grace and economy of effort, a perfect embodiment of gentle, unhurried motion, an emblem of serene efficiency. Some deep-water jellyfish, far from being translucent, can appear almost non-translucent, and their deep red or purple coloration renders them effectively invisible in the dim blue light that might penetrate from the mesopelagic, as red light is absorbed and simply does not reach these depths. The jellyfish is presented as a living, breathing part of the darkness, a quiet, perfect counterpoint to the profound stillness of its environment, a testament to life's enduring and adaptable presence. As it moves, a faint ethereal light begins to pulse from within its translucent form, a soft internal glow that defies the surrounding blackness, a gentle rebellion against the universal dark. The creature becomes a silent, pulsing galaxy of light, a miniature cosmos contained within its delicate frame, its glow not harsh or sudden, not a startling flash, but a soft hypnotic rhythm, perfectly attuned to the profound stillness that surrounds it. This is not a jarring beacon demanding attention, but a fluctuating charm, an amber-colored amethyst moving through the profound blackness, its glow shifting and deepening with each gentle pulse, captivating the mind without effort. The imagery of the creature as a living star or a miniature nebula is explored and repeated, creating a lulling, spiraling focus for the mind, a gentle anchor for contemplation. This presentation reframes the deep ocean's darkness, not as a source of fear or an intimidating empty void, but as a peaceful, receptive canvas for beauty, a backdrop against which the most delicate forms of life can glow. The vast darkness becomes a profound stage, an empty space waiting for the gentle, captivating performance of this luminous creature, a silent ballet of light and shadow. This philosophical perspective, which views darkness not merely as a dependent absence of light, but also as a profound space of potential, of quiet contemplation, and of deep rest, allows the listener to feel a profound sense of security and restfulness in the absence of external light, rather than anxiety or apprehension. This reframing is a central therapeutic element of the script, transforming the concept of a restless, overactive mind into a peaceful space ready to be filled with the script's gentle imagery, cradled by the soft, rhythmic glow in the soft heart of the abyss, inviting a profound and tranquil sleep. Chapter 3: The Secret of the Glow. The narrative now gently turns its focus to the light itself, not merely observing its presence, but delving into the quiet, intricate mechanics of its creation within the pulsing, ethereal form of the jellyfish. This is the wondrous phenomenon of bioluminescence, explained here in the simplest, most poetic terms imaginable, meticulously stripping away any scientific jargon that might disrupt the peaceful, deepening descent into sleep. Imagine, if you will, the tiny, intricate universe contained within the jellyfish's delicate bell, a hidden laboratory where the magic of light is prepared and unfolded. The script describes two remarkable proteins, luciferin and luciferase, as being woven together inside the jellyfish, like two finely spun threads of a silent, luminous tapestry, patiently awaiting the precise, gentle moment of their union. Luciferin is the light emitting compound, the stored chemical energy, essentially the fuel for the glow, while luciferase is the enzyme, a biological catalyst that facilitates the reaction. In this poetic rendering, the role of luciferase is not presented as a forceful chemical agent, not a harsh accelerator, but as a gentle whisper or a subtle nudge that softly awakens the light from its slumber, stirring it into being. It is the quiet instigator, the subtle choreographer of this intricate internal dance, allowing the luciferin to gracefully transform its stored chemical energy into the radiant energy of light without generating significant heat. The light, therefore, is not made in a violent explosion or a sudden jarring flash. Rather, it is quietly unfolded or unfurled from within the creature as a silent inner fire that expands without heat, a cool, soft effulgence that gently illuminates the surrounding darkness, a perfect testament to nature's quiet power. The profound beauty of this biological process lies in its extraordinary efficiency, producing what is known as cold light with almost no heat loss, a stark and elegant contrast to the incandescent light bulbs of the surface world that waste most of their energy as heat. This gentle unfolding of light is a testament to nature's quiet artistry, an optimized process perfected over millennia. Many bioluminescent organisms, particularly those in the deep sea, employ luciferin and luciferase in various chemical forms, leading to a dazzling array of colors from green and blue, most common in the ocean, to yellow, red, and even violet light, each adapted for specific functions such as attracting prey, warding off predators, or communicating. For instance, the crystal jelly, Equaria victoria, famously produces green fluorescent protein, GFP, which re-emits blue bioluminescence as green light, providing a continuous soft glow. The script also introduces the concept of a photoprotein, a more complex light producing compound found in certain bioluminescent organisms, including some jellyfish and comb jellies, offering an alternative pathway to light. While some scientific sources might describe a photoprotein as a prepackaged bomb due to its ability to emit a sudden flash of light upon activation, this potentially jarring and energetic term is carefully softened and reframed for our tranquil journey. Instead, it is presented as a quiet, perfect potential or a sealed secret, a latent capacity for brilliance waiting patiently within the creature's specialized cells. This secret is carefully guarded until a gentle touch from a specific ion, typically calcium, arrives to release its fleeting flash of brilliance. Calcium acts as a subtle key, unlocking the stored energy within the photoprotein, such as equorin in some jellyfish or baravin in Biroa basicola, causing it to undergo a rapid yet gentle conformational change that results in a swift, self sustaining light emission. This framing ensures the language remains serene and non threatening, emphasizing the delicate, precise trigger rather than any forceful explosion. It's a moment of exquisite, quiet revelation, a brief but profound burst of internal light, a single thought made visible in the deep, then softly fading, leaving a lingering warmth. The mechanism of bioluminescence in creatures like jellyfish, which produce their own light making chemicals, is not merely a fascinating biological fact to be admired. It is a profound and deeply resonant metaphor for self sufficiency and inner peace. The jellyfish's light is not a reflection of an external source, like the sun's borrowed brilliance. It is an intrinsic, self generated quality, a light that originates entirely from within its own being, independent of any outside influence. This narrative choice gently guides the listener toward a similar realization about their own mind. Just as the jellyfish carries its own source of illumination through the perpetual, all encompassing night of the deep ocean, so too does the human mind possess an innate, inherent capacity for calm and peace, an inner light that can be awakened regardless of external circumstances or the perceived darkness of one's surroundings. The calm they seek, the tranquility they yearn for, is not something to be found externally, something to be chased or acquired from the busy, demanding world. It is instead a state they can quietly access and produce from within themselves, effortlessly, like the jellyfish. This concept, often explored in spiritual and mindfulness traditions, suggests that light is an innate aspect of our spiritual essence and is reawakened by any spiritual effort, and that it is a metaphor for the innate potential or spiritual essence that resides within individuals, representing their capacity for wisdom and understanding. The bioluminescence thus becomes a powerful and deeply comforting symbol of the mind's own latent capacity for peace, waiting patiently to be gently awakened and unfolded in the comforting darkness. A quiet reminder that this place of calm and relaxation is always within you, and you can return here whenever you need to. It's a testament to the profound truth that true tranquility emanates from within, a self sustaining glow that can effortlessly guide you to a state of profound and restorative rest, a radiant core of peace accessible at any moment. Chapter 4: The Silent Chorus of the Deep. The script next addresses a deeply ingrained, yet common misconception about the deep sea: the pervasive belief that it is a place of absolute, desolate silence, a vacuum of sound. The truth, however, is far more intricate, surprising, and profoundly comforting. The ocean, particularly its depths, is not empty of sound, but is in fact filled with a low, constant hum, an immense and subtle background texture, a vibrant and dynamic soundscape, a complex symphony orchestrated by the planet itself and its many enigmatic inhabitants. This pervasive sonic tapestry is not a source of discord or jarring noise, but rather an integral part of the natural ancient rhythm of the planet. It is a continuous free oscillation, or a heme of the earth, that has been detected by scientists using highly sensitive hydrophones placed at the bottom of the Indian Ocean and elsewhere. This planetary heme, vibrating at frequencies far below the range of human hearing, typically between 2.9 and 4.5 millihertz, is thought to be primarily caused by the perpetual sloshing of ocean waves as they interact with the sea floor, rolling over vast ridges and continental shelves, and even the subtle yet powerful collisions of ocean waves with each other in the open ocean. It's a fundamental, almost imperceptible tremor, a baseline resonance of Earth itself, a deep underlying pulse that signifies the planet's very aliveness. The narrative personifies the Earth, gently describing its quiet, steady movements and internal processes as a deep hum or a vibrating song. This isn't a melody in the traditional sense, but a profound, infrasonic vibration that speaks of the planet's vastness, its enduring presence, and its continuous unfolding geological story. The sounds of distant geological activity, such as submarine earthquakes and volcanic tremors, occurring miles beneath the surface or thousands of miles away, which can be detected across immense distances by sensitive hydrophones, are framed not as cataclysmic events, but as the ancient breathing of the planet. These powerful low frequency events, caused by the shifting of tectonic plates or the eruption of underwater volcanoes, are presented as slow and rhythmic, utterly without urgency, devoid of the frantic energy associated with surface level disturbances. They are not chaotic or frightening events, but rather the majestic, consistent pulse of the world, providing an underlying sense of stability, permanence, and timelessness, a reminder of the Earth's profound, patient power. Even the deep sea hydrothermal vents, spewing superheated mineral rich water from the Earth's crust, contribute to this complex soundscape with their unique hisses, crackles, and rumbles, adding another subtle yet distinct layer to the Earth's subterranean symphony. A central, profoundly lulling element of this deep sea soundscape is then introduced: the low frequency moans, pulses, and songs of whales, such as blue, humpback, and finback whales. These magnificent marine mammals are highly dependent on sound for every aspect of their lives, for communication across vast distances, for navigation in the perpetual darkness, and for sensing their environment, as sight is severely limited in the deep and smell diffuses slowly in water. Their vocalizations, among the loudest and lowest frequency sounds in the entire animal kingdom, are uniquely adapted to travel for thousands of miles through the ocean's vastness without dissipating. Blue whale vocalizations, for instance, typically range from 8 to 25 hertz, well into the infrasonic range for human hearing, though some calls can reach higher frequencies. These infrasonic waves can penetrate deep into the ocean's layers, allowing whales to communicate over oceanic basins. Humpback whales are renowned for producing complex, often repetitious songs that are considered probably the most complex in the animal kingdom, evolving and changing over time, often performed by males during mating season, though their exact purpose is still being studied. These captivating calls are described as an ancient lullaby, a long down-sweeping moan that gently fills the immense dark space with a gentle hypnotic presence, creating a feeling of being enveloped and held by something vast, living, and eternal. The script masterfully utilizes this deep sea soundscape to create a profound sense of being enveloped and held by something immense, ancient, and eternal, like being cradled in the very arms of the living planet. The sounds, far from being a threat or a source of disturbance, are presented as a gentle confirmation of a living, breathing world, a quiet reassurance of a constant, underlying order and interconnectedness. This powerful imagery effectively counters any potential anxiety of isolation in the dark by creating a felt sense of a quiet, humming community, a hidden network of life, even in the deepest, most remote parts of the world. It gently replaces racing or anxious thoughts with a sense of gentle belonging, a profound connection to the ancient pulse of the earth and the distant soothing calls of its largest, most magnificent inhabitants. It's a subtle yet powerful reminder that even in stillness and darkness, there is a profound and comforting presence, a natural rhythm that invites you deeper and deeper into restorative rest, a cosmic lullaby for the soul. Chapter 5: The Hunter's Secret. This chapter introduces another fascinating and elegantly adapted creature of the deep, the abyssal comb jelly, specifically Burrow abyssicola. The narrative handles its introduction with deliberate, non threatening language, meticulously crafted to ensure that no element of the deep conjures fear, anxiety, or unease in the listener. This comb jelly is not depicted as a dangerous, menacing predator lurking in the dark, but rather as a quiet guardian of its own survival, gracefully patrolling the midnight zone with an elegant and solitary purpose. It moves with a unique, almost ethereal grace, propelled by rows of tiny hair like cilia, known as comb plates, that beat rhythmically, creating a mesmerizing shimmer. Its movements are fluid and unhurried, appearing more like a silent, purposeful dancer in the darkness than a swift, aggressive hunter. Its body, unlike many translucent comb jellies found in shallower waters, is often more opaque and can exhibit striking colors, particularly deep shades of crimson, purple, or even brownish red. The script focuses intensely on the fascinating detail of its crimson coloration, a hue that is not for outward show or display in the perpetual darkness where colors are meaningless without light to reflect, but for quiet, ingenious containment. It is explained that this deep red color serves a vital, incredibly clever purpose. It acts as a highly effective form of camouflage and a brilliant strategy for survival in the lightless depths. In the deep ocean, where only blue light, if any, manages to penetrate, red light is rapidly absorbed and virtually disappears. Consequently, red objects appear black and therefore invisible to predators that rely on vision. More importantly, this crimson color serves a remarkable internal function. It effectively absorbs the light of its bioluminescent prey, preventing the gut of the Barrow abyssicola from glowing after a meal and inadvertently attracting larger, more formidable hunters. Many deep sea organisms emit bioluminescence when stressed or consumed, and a glowing stomach would make the comb jelly a prime target. This physiological adaptation is a sophisticated act of negative light manipulation, not creating light, but containing and concealing it for absolute safety and stealth. It's a profound example of evolutionary adaptation, a quiet mastery of its environment that ensures its continued existence in a world where invisibility can be the ultimate, most elegant defense. The script masterfully uses this remarkable biological fact as a powerful and deeply resonant metaphor for the minesweeper function, a therapeutic technique specifically designed to quiet the restless, overactive mind. The listener's anxious thoughts, their worries, and their ruminations are likened to the glowing prey, their internal light of agitation or persistent rumination that keeps them awake and alert. The narrative gently helps the listener to develop a mental crimson veil around their mind, not to fight, suppress, or aggressively reject their thoughts, but to gently absorb and contain them. This internal veil allows these thoughts to dissipate and lose their luminosity, to fade from their agitated glow, so they no longer create a glow that keeps the mind restless and prevents the onset of sleep. It's an act of passive yet powerfully effective acceptance and containment, allowing the thoughts to be present without consuming attention or sparking further anxiety, gently neutralizing their disruptive power. This metaphor offers a concrete yet soothing image for managing mental noise. Furthermore, the script describes how comb jellies, including Barrow abyssicola, often create light through a distinctly different mechanism than the chemical glow of typical bioluminescence, although some species do possess both capabilities. Instead of a chemical reaction producing light from within, they use rows of tiny hair-like cilia, known as comb plates or keenies, that shimmer and diffract any ambient light that might be present, or sometimes even interact with their own self-generated light. These cilia beat rhythmically in coordinated waves, propelling the animal through the water and creating a mesmerizing iridescent rainbow effect that dances along its body. This prismatic quality is presented as a slow moving spectrum or a private silent rainbow, providing a new form of visual wonder that is distinct from the primary theme of chemical bioluminescence, but equally calming and captivating. This phenomenon, often called iridescence or structural color, is caused by the interference of light waves reflecting off the precisely spaced comb plates, creating a continuously shifting play of colors. It's a reminder of the subtle, unexpected beauty that can be found even in the deepest, darkest corners of existence, a gentle interplay of light and motion that further lulls the mind into a state of peaceful observation, reinforcing the concept of tranquil containment and the quiet beauty of profound adaptation. It's a silent internal aurora borealis, a serene display only for the inner eye. Chapter 6: A Trail of Light. The script gently returns to the primary, serene image of the pulsing jellyfish, now recontextualizing its movements within the vast dark ocean, deepening its metaphorical significance. The narrative describes the creature's journey not as a series of isolated, fleeting flashes, appearing and disappearing without connection, but as a continuous, gentle trail of light, a luminous, shimmering path left in its wake. This light is not a sudden, startling burst that breaks the tranquility, but a slow, continuous emanation, a quiet whisper in the deep, stretching behind it like a shimmering silken thread woven into the very fabric of the darkness itself. It's a testament to sustained, effortless presence, a gentle declaration of existence in a world of profound stillness, leaving a lingering impression of beauty and peace. This continuous glow speaks to the enduring nature of calm, not as a fleeting moment, but as an ongoing state. The idea of a collective glow is then gracefully introduced, drawing on the beautiful and widely observed example of bioluminescent plankton. These tiny, often microscopic organisms, though individually imperceptible in their vast numbers, collectively ignite into light when jostled by the movement of the water, by currents, or by passing creatures, creating breathtaking displays of living light in the ocean's upper layers, especially noticeable at night. This phenomenon, primarily caused by dinoflagellates, which emit a flash of light when mechanically stimulated, illuminates the water in shimmering streaks, swirls, and cascades, as if the ocean itself is breathing light, exhaling a cosmic glow. This is presented as a gentle, comforting metaphor for the quiet, unseen power of an unseen community, a profound reminder that even in the profound, isolating depths, one is not truly alone. There is a hidden, interconnected network of life, a vast community of silent, glowing beings, each contributing their minute yet essential part to the subtle collective illumination of their shared world. This collective glow reinforces the sense of belonging and interconnectedness, transforming the vastness of the ocean from an intimidating, empty void into a gently vibrating, intricately interconnected space teeming with hidden life and silent communication. It speaks to the idea that even the smallest entities, in their collective being, can create something truly magnificent. The trail of light left by the jellyfish, therefore, is then described not just as a beautiful fleeting path, but as a path pointing the way home. This metaphorical home is not a physical destination or a place on a map, but a destination of profound peace and quiet within the self and an internal sanctuary. It is a state of being that is not urgent or a goal to be strived for aggressively, not a finish line to be crossed, but one that is always present, always accessible, and can be gently returned to at any moment. It is the internal sanctuary, the place of effortless tranquility that lies beyond the day's distractions, beyond the anxieties, and beyond the incessant chatter of the conscious mind. The light serves as a non cognitive, intuitive reminder of the way back to stillness, a visual anchor for the wandering mind, a silent guide in the internal landscape of relaxation. Its gentle, consistent presence offers a sense of direction without demanding conscious effort or analytical thought, a soft, luminous guide that simply is, leading one back to an innate state of calm. This section subtly draws upon profound philosophical concepts, such as those found in Suharwardi's Illuminationism, a 12th century Islamic philosophical school that posits light as a fundamental, self evident reality and the very essence of existence. For Suharwardi, all reality is light, and it emanates from a divine light of lights in descending orders of intensity, with the physical world being merely an aspect of the divine effulgence. He argued that light operates at all levels and hierarchies of reality, and that anything in existence that requires no definition or explanation is evident. Since there is nothing more evident than light, there is nothing less in need of definition. In this rich philosophical context, the light of the jellyfish is not just a biological curiosity to be scientifically observed. It is presented as a direct manifestation of an underlying truth, a quiet overflow from a deeper universal source of being. This philosophical layer adds a profound yet deeply calming purpose to the central imagery, subtly moving the script from simple description to a gentle, intuitive exploration of inner peace as an intrinsic quality. It suggests that the light observed is not merely a scientific phenomenon, but a reflection of a deeper inherent luminosity within all existence, guiding the listener to understand that their own inner calm is also a fundamental, self evident reality, a quiet emanation from their truest, most peaceful self. It is a reminder that the path to peace is always illuminated from within, a beacon in the internal dark. Chapter 7: The Final Embrace. The script now begins its final, slow, and most profound descent, guiding the listener into the deepest, most remote layers of the ocean, a realm beyond even the midnight zone. This is a deliberate return to the initial themes of darkness, cold, and immense pressure, but now, crucially, they are meticulously reframed, not as sources of fear, discomfort, or threat, but as sensations of profound comfort, ultimate surrender, and absolute rest. We now enter the abyssopelagic zone, a vast and imposing layer whose Greek name means no bottom, alluding to its immense depth and seemingly endless expanse. This zone stretches from approximately 4,000 meters, 13,100 feet, down to 6,000 meters, 19,700 feet below the surface, a truly monumental space. Yet, it is presented not as a crushing, terrifying void, but as a final, cradling place, a secure sanctuary at the very foundation of the world. It is a place of absolute surrender, where one can finally let go of the day's persistent need for control, the ceaseless striving and vigilance, and simply be held, supported, and contained by the immense ancient quiet of the abyssal plain. It is an invitation to release, to trust in the unwavering support of the deep, a profound sense of being held in a gentle embrace of rest, where all burdens are lifted. Here, in this ultimate depth, the temperature is perpetually near freezing, hovering around a constant 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, 36 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, and the hydrostatic pressure is immense, reaching hundreds of atmospheres. But these formidable conditions become an integral part of the deep's secure embrace, transforming from potential threats into sources of a comforting, consistent stability. The cold is a soothing coolness, the pressure a gentle, encompassing weight, holding you firmly, securely, as if in a vast, watery womb. The stillness is absolute, undisturbed by the currents or movements of shallower waters, a truly profound quiet. The narrative then gently touches on the distant low level sounds of the surface world, filtering them through the vast insulating oceanic buffer. The constant background drone of ships, which would typically be a source of anxiety, irritation, or disruptive noise in a waking state, is described as a distant, muffled echo, a faint, almost forgotten memory of a world that is now immeasurably far away and no longer urgent, its concerns rendered insignificant by distance and depth. These sounds, perhaps the deep thrum of large vessels, the rhythmic beat of propellers, or the subtle groan of hulls, are profoundly attenuated and transformed by the immense water column above, becoming mere whispers from another reality, a faint, indiscernible hum. They are presented as the background noise that the listener's mind has successfully, effortlessly tuned out, symbolizing their triumphant mental distance from their own stressors, from the chaotic demands, and from the incessant mental chatter of their day. The auditory component of the script subtly yet powerfully reinforces the therapeutic goal, transforming potential distractions into undeniable signs of a successful journey toward profound peace and deep inner quiet. Let the day fall behind you now. Let all that weighs heavy be released, the narrative softly urges, as these sounds become proof of a mind at rest. The script also refers to the unidentified sounds and mysteries of the deep that have been recorded by highly sensitive hydrophones, the sophisticated underwater microphones that listen to the ocean's hidden, enigmatic symphony. For decades, scientists have captured strange and perplexing sounds, such as the bloop, now largely understood to be the sound of large icebergs fracturing, upsweep, likely volcanic activity, Julia, and slow down, also thought to be iceberg-related phenomena. These mysterious, often infrasonic sounds add to the mystique of the deep, this inherent lack of complete knowledge, this vastness of the unknown, is not presented as a cause for anxiety, fear, or the need to solve a puzzle, but rather as a profound source of wonder, awe, and ultimate calm. The unknown is presented as a gentle, vast space, not a threat to be understood or conquered, but a mystery to be reverently embraced. The listener is encouraged to embrace this mystery, to let go of the intellectual need to understand, to analyze, or to categorize, and simply to rest within the quiet acceptance of the unknown. There is nothing you need to do now, nowhere you need to be, the voice gently reminds. This acceptance of the unknown, this surrender to the incomprehensible, becomes a powerful and liberating tool for shedding the cognitive burdens and the endless quest for answers that plague the waking mind. It is an ultimate invitation to a state of profound peace where the mind can truly unwind, held securely and gently in the final, comforting embrace of the deep, boundless ocean, ready for the deepest, most restorative sleep. Chapter 8: The Dream of the Deep. This section of the script gracefully transitions, taking the listener beyond the physical journey, beyond the tangible depths, and into a realm of pure, calming imagination, a space where the mind can truly let go, unfettered by reality, and simply dream. It unfolds as a slow, methodical spiral, a carefully orchestrated dance of imagery that meticulously weaves together all the previously introduced elements, building a rich, multi-sensory tapestry of profound peace and serene beauty. The velvet darkness of the midnight zone, no longer a void but a nurturing embrace. The gentle, rhythmic pulsing of the luminous jellyfish, its soft light a beacon of inner peace. The faint, ancient hum of the earth beneath the waves, a cosmic lullaby. The clever crimson veil of the abyssal comb jelly, a symbol of contained thoughts. All these diverse elements are brought back, one by one, and blended into a final seamless whole. Each image is reintroduced not as a distinct new thought that might jar the mind, but as a familiar, comforting presence, deepening the sense of immersion and reinforcing the tranquil atmosphere. This spiraling recapitulation ensures a consistent, deeply soothing experience. Key phrases and images are repeated in a lulling, hypnotic manner, much like a gentle mantra echoing in a vast chamber, or the steady, predictable rocking of a boat on a calm, moonlit sea. This rhythmic repetition is a key therapeutic tool, specifically designed to detour the mind to a calm and comfy place, rather than allowing it to race through the same anxious, repetitive thoughts that so often disrupt sleep. Phrases like the gentle rhythm of the jellyfish's pulse, the amber colored amethyst of its ethereal glow, the profound feeling of weightlessness in the water, and the distant ancient song of the whales. All these elements are reintroduced and rephrased with subtle, soothing variations. This spiraling repetition, akin to a musical theme that returns with soft, comforting alterations, creates a non arousing occupation for the mind. It provides a gentle, consistent focus that allows the internal chatter to gradually subside, settling the mind into a state of deep receptivity and profound relaxation, effortlessly preparing it for truly restorative rest. The predictable, flowing nature of the imagery and language offers a safe, consistent mental landscape, a soft current to drift upon. The narrative also makes a gentle, direct address to the listener, a subtle but powerful affirmation, suggesting that their own mind, much like the bioluminescent jellyfish, holds an inherent inner light, an innate capacity for peace, clarity, and radiance. This inner light is a metaphor for the wisdom, the clarity, and the spiritual essence that resides intrinsically within each individual, capable of shining brightly regardless of external darkness or confusion. It is a gentle invitation to let go of effort, of striving, of the constant need to achieve or control, and simply be with this inner radiance, to recognize it as an intrinsic, beautiful part of their very being. You are safe, you are warm, you are protected, you are loved, the voice softly assures, reinforcing a sense of profound security. The script subtly presents the listener as a willing participant in this quiet, bioluminescent world, no longer merely an observer gazing upon a scene, but an integral part of the tranquil ecosystem of the deep, a living, breathing ember in the vast, peaceful darkness. This deep integration fosters a profound sense of unity and belonging, an affirmation that the peace they seek is not external, but a direct reflection of their own internal calm, ready to be gently acknowledged and expanded. The jellyfish, in its graceful flow and self generated light, becomes a potent symbol of trusting one's own intuition and finding peace by letting go of resistance, embracing jellyfish wisdom in daily life, the art of flexibility, transparency, and yielding to life's gentle currents, allowing them to carry you to a state of profound and serene slumber. Chapter 9, Into the Deepest Sleep. The script now gently leads the listener into a final, profound stillness, the serene culmination of this deep oceanic journey. All external references are gradually shed, one by one, like leaves falling silently from a tree, allowing the last vestiges of the waking world to recede entirely, leaving behind only the pure, undiluted essence of deep rest. The jellyfish's light, which has served as the gentle guiding beacon throughout the descent, becomes softer, less defined, its distinct form blurring at the edges. It transforms into a diffused glow that seems to exist everywhere and nowhere at once, dissolving gracefully into the very fabric of the darkness it illuminates. It is no longer a distinct separate form, but an ambient radiance, a gentle permeation that signals ultimate tranquility, almost like an ephemeral opalescence that breathes softly with the quietude of the deep. This light, once a focal point, now becomes an all encompassing soft warmth, a tender inner glow within the internal landscape of the mind, a silent lullaby for the eyes that are now softly, comfortably closed, settling into their deepest repose. The gentle hum of the deep, the ancient breathing of the planet that has accompanied the journey, also softens, gradually receding into the background until it becomes an almost imperceptible, quiet, steady presence that cradles the listener in its vast embrace. It is a vibrational embrace, a constant underlying frequency that resonates subtly with the deepest parts of the being, a cosmic lullaby from the earth itself, a gentle thrumming that affirms stability and unwavering peace. This pervasive quietude is not an empty, desolate silence, but a rich, full stillness, imbued with the lingering echoes of the journey and the profound peace discovered within. It is a silence pregnant with infinite potential, a vast velvety canvas upon which the most serene dreams of the deep will soon begin to unfold, unhurried and unburdened. This is the silence of true rest, where the external world has faded into insignificance and the internal world prepares for complete renewal, a deep, restorative calm. The narration itself becomes even slower and quieter, a final, tender whisper that guides the listener to the very edge of consciousness, coaxing the last, most stubborn threads of waking thought to gently unravel and dissipate. The language is pared down to its most simple, most essential form, stripping away all complexity, focusing solely on core sensations of release, surrender, and profound comfort. It is a final, gentle instruction to let go and drift, to allow the subtle, irresistible gravitational pull of sleep to fully take hold, effortlessly pulling the listener down into its soft, welcoming embrace. Phrases emphasizing letting go, releasing, surrendering, and being held are repeated with soft, almost whispered inflection, each word a gentle push towards deeper slumber, a soothing mantra for the weary mind. Let any last bits of tension dissolve, the voice murmurs, drifting away now into the night. The words themselves become soft currents, carrying away the final remnants of the day's worries, like tiny specks of dust settling to the ocean floor. The final lines are not a conclusion, but a fading, a gradual release into oblivion, a gentle vanishing act as consciousness dissolves. The descent is complete. The listener is fully embraced by the velvety darkness and the profound quiet, contained and supported by the soft, steady rhythm of the bioluminescent world that now exists as an internal sensation rather than an external image. This internal world is one of perfect harmony, where the mind is at ease and the body is utterly relaxed, suspended in a state of grace. The final audio cue of the meditation script fades completely to nothing, leaving the listener in profound absolute silence, a state of complete unburdened rest, completely enveloped in the quietude of the deep, ready for the deepest, most restorative sleep imaginable. The script, in its final chapter, becomes a seamless collaboration between the writer and the narrator. The words themselves are simple, but their performance is intended to convey the final gentle mind sweep, demonstrating an understanding of the medium's unique requirements for a seamless therapeutic experience, allowing the mind to sink deeper and deeper into sleep. There is nothing left to do today. Today is done, and all of today's work is over. The final thoughts dissolve, leaving only absolute peace and profound rest.